Planet Vero Studio is powered by the Nolan Group of RE/MAX Associated Realty. MyNextHomeFinder.com. Cindy Grossman. New York City born and raised, luxury retail management was her game. Saks Fifth Avenue and Nordstrom were her jewelry playgrounds. Had enough at 38, fled to Miami, where Neiman Marcus Bal Harbour found her. Recruited to Mont Blanc, where her regional position challenged her. Met her husband 4 years ago, and Brevard County she did go. COVID hit, she needed a new career fit. Age-defying beauty with Mary Kay, she did say. And now, here's Cindy Grossman.
Hello, 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 and welcome to Mesmerize the Mirror at Any Age. Thanks so much, Mitch, for coming back.
Thank you for having me back once again.
Thank you. And Jesse, thanks for keeping us straight on the arrow here. That's for sure. Thank you.
We're going to have a good time.
Oh, yes. And we have a fabulous guest.
Tell us.
Judy Jewett. If you're tired of being the best kept secret in your field, today is your chance to break through the barriers that are holding you back. If you love what you do, but sometimes feel as if you're self-sabotaging your career, you're in for an awakening. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce Judy Jewett, known by many as the Intuitive Business Coach, aka Intuitive Healer for Women Entrepreneurs. Judy is the founder of The Real Mastery Results. Her cutting-edge method with the 4 simple power steps helps you double your income, we all will love that, and enhance your impact. Her clients have more confidence, healthier relationships without working harder and burning themselves out. Judy has been providing real solutions for women entrepreneurs for over 25 years. Her practice offers comprehensive, original, and life-changing techniques that are tailored to meet the needs of each individual. Judy, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, Cindy, thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
It's going to be a great show. We're going to learn a lot of interesting things that women entrepreneurs can really take away from this. And of course, it's International Women's Month, so what a better time to be doing this. So I'm really excited that you're here.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited to be here.
Terrific. One thing I have to ask, tell us how this all began and what you were doing prior to your healing.
I have a background in business sales and was working for corporate 500 companies. I also have a background in education. So education was early on as a teacher, and then I went into corporate sales and did very, very well, but it just did not fulfill me. So then I decided I just kept looking. What else am I going to do? And that's how I got into holistic health.
Amazing. That's terrific. Now, I hear you're referred to as the intuitive healer for women entrepreneurs. What does that mean?
Well, you know how you get together with a girlfriend and you get very intuitive and you always tell each other what you think is going on? Well, it's similar to that, meaning I just dedicated my life to my spiritual side and the intuitive part of me. And so I'm just very gifted to be able to have that conversation as you would a girlfriend. And I'm able to pinpoint exactly pivoted moments in a person's life that maybe contributed to them being the best kept secret, being invisible, feeling stuck in their life. It's always about self-sabotaging, by the way.
Mm.
Can you give us an example of maybe recent clients, certainly not naming anyone, but of clients that you've helped and that have, you've been able to intuit certain issues that are holding them back?
Yes, I would love to do that. So I'll tell you about a client I had today.
Mm-hmm.
And I've worked with her before, and she happened to have breast cancer and went through the traditional means to heal the cancer. But what took place was she hired me to help her to self-discover if there were emotional and spiritual reasons of why she had a disease, to make sure she was, body, mind, and spirit in great shape. And so as everything evolved, a lot of things came up with that. And partly was her marriage and was part of the culprit, which isn't really, nobody does anything to you, right? We're always a part of the problem. And then we went into some other areas that she discovered that changed her life in that area. And part of it, she needed a voice. Okay, so this was like several years ago. And so for some reason, she decided to come back and work with me. And what was happening is her ex-husband was no longer living. And she'd been divorced about 7 or 8 years, but she still had resentments and still had things happening that she just wasn't feeling good and about it. And so today was a huge breakthrough. And so intuitively, I was able to ask the right questions to get the answers that she needed to hear for herself. And then I communicated with her in a way that I truly felt that her husband, ex-husband who is on the other side, that he was there. And he was there, and there was a real forgiveness of each other. It was beautiful.
That sounds beautiful. Because I know we spoke before, and we talked a lot about blocks, that there are blocks in people's lives that don't allow them to accomplish what they're set out to do. And I know that was a great conversation we had.
Yes. And I would like to share one other story of a client, because I feel
Please.
That the listeners could really use this, if I may.
Please do.
Okay, so I have a client that had COVID. Her husband had COVID, and he had to go to the hospital and be put on a ventilator, okay, for a period of time. She had COVID. She was at home. The thing of it is they were business owners, and they had the kind of business that it could not just run by itself completely. They needed to be a part of it, right? So she hired me, and here it was, it was a year after COVID. It was last year. And she hired me because she couldn't get back to her mojo, her magic, to make things happen in her business. She just felt like she was floundering. So I started helping her with a breakthrough, many breakthroughs, because she was a 6-month client. But right away, we were able to identify what was going on. And it honestly was the trauma of COVID, of watching your husband be put, in an ambulance and not knowing if he was going to come out of the hospital, right? And being there endless days, right? And not being able to see him. So she had so much trauma. And so I was able, and we did some other work too, but I was able to help her energetically. I'm not a counselor. I'm an intuitive business coach. So I was able to help her on an intuitive level, and through her faith, whatever that is, it doesn't matter, whatever that, the person's faith is, because I'm very spiritual, is to help her so she could heal. She needed to heal the trauma. And then she was able to refocus. I have a beautiful testimony from her that people can watch, but it was just beautiful, to see that happen. So women, everybody, we all have something that we're just, it's heavy on our heart.
Absolutely, for sure. Now, you also talk about the Real Mastery. What is the Real Mastery Results Program? What is that all about?
That is 25 years of doing the kind of work I do, working with people, and also having to help myself to clear things, get a better attitude. I could go on and on and on over my own experiences, but it's not important. What's important is Real came out of it. And Real is a program with 4 primary steps. So I have it on a map that you go through, and I found through my research and through working with individuals and groups that if you follow this path of exactly what needs to be done, that you will have mastery and you will be able to claim that beautiful power that we all are. You know, we all have this beautiful power and strength within us, and sometimes we forget about it. You know, things have happened to us, so it's to bring people into the alignment of their head and heart and to really get back into that, back to who they really are.
Sounds good. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with Judy Jewett.
Why hire Cantwell & Goldman? At Cantwell & Goldman, PA, we take pride in what we do. That pride translates into better client service and better client results. At Cantwell & Goldman, PA, we provide high-quality legal solutions for individuals and businesses in Indian River and Brevard counties and throughout the state of Florida. Our experienced attorneys can help you with a range of legal issues, from defending a criminal charge, assistance with a commercial or residential closing, business transaction, or estate planning and probate matters. We are a full-service law firm specializing in estate planning, including trust and estates, as well as commercial and residential real estate and corporate matters throughout the state of Florida. Cantwell & Goldman, PA.
This is iHeartMedia's Treasure Coast Connection.
The Treasure Coast Connection is brought to you by New Vision Eye Center.
Now's the time for you to proudly support veterans and Honor Flight with an Honor Flight license plate. Purchase a pre-sale voucher to help make the Honor Flight license plate a reality. A portion of every Honor Flight license plate purchased goes to the 10 Honor Flight chapters in Florida, including Southeast Florida Honor Flight. The mission of Honor Flight is to transport America's war veterans to Washington, D.C. to visit the memorials that honor their service and sacrifice. To reserve your pre-sale voucher for yourself or as a gift to a beloved veteran, visit www.honorflightflorida.org. Again, that's honorflightflorida.org.
Call New Vision Eye Center for a consultation or second opinion. Your eyesight deserves world-class eye care. Visit newvisioneyecenter.com or call 772-257-8700.
For keeping your house pest and termite free, as well as your landscape healthy and green, call Compass Pest Control. Hi, this is Brian Combs, co-owner of Compass Pest Control. We are locally owned and operated with over 60 years of experience. We provide personalized, reliable service to all our clients. Call Compass at 772-925-1740 or visit our website, compasspest.com. That's Compass, PESTS.com.
Water service? Don't let your money go down the drain. Make sure to get a quote from Affordable Water. Many times, Affordable Water's original price is less than the competitor's discount price. Yes, Affordable Water really is affordable. Make sure to get a quote today, because you haven't gotten a quote until it's affordable. Affordable Water.
Call 589-7677 or you reach 20. Call the Pure Water Pros. Affordable water.
Need an enlightening pick-me-up? Visit Kristen and Cindy at Skinnergy, 599 Sherwood Avenue, Unit 110 in Satellite Beach, to energize your skin and keep it looking fabulous forever. Kristen can help with hair removal sugaring to keep your whole body smooth and conditioned. Kristen will help you refresh and defend your skin while giving you a customized facial. Cindy helps Skinnergize and get you camera ready for your everyday look or occasions event. Visit Kristen and Cindy at Skinnergy at 599 Sherwood Avenue, Unit 110 in Satellite Beach.
And we're back with Judy Jewett, the intuitive healer for women entrepreneurs. Now, things were getting really, really good right before we finished with our break. So let's get right back into it. Judy, what is an intuitive healer?
Well, an intuitive healer. So an intuitive, as I explained, is just a person, like we all have our intuition. We all have it. I've just really mastered mine of paying a lot of attention to it. And I'm an empath, so I can pick up people's feelings and emotions pretty easy, okay? So you can be all the way around the world, and if I connect to you, I pretty much know your mojo, and I call it mojo, your energy. So a healer is someone like myself that has had training that literally holds the space for you to do healing. So that means that we're all equipped to help ourselves. You know, I'm not doing the work for you, but I hold the space for a person to have a healing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Or do you want me to explain any more?
No, that does make sense. But if there's more detail you would like to explain, I would appreciate that as well, of course.
Well, yes. So back in 1999, I specifically went through a program that studied energy medicine. And I was in Austin, Texas, and we spent 3 solid weeks of really diving in to try to understand, like, what is vibration, what is frequency, and how does it affect the body and the energy fields and the chakras. If you know anything about Eastern medicine, you know, that's about the energy centers. This is nothing new. So it would be like acupuncture. That would be something that a lot more people have heard about probably. So they use the meridians. And so a lot of medicine that is of that fashion, it's done through the energy body, the energy centers. So I studied it, and the person that taught this, she had learned it from it was actually a tribe from Mexico that they were in the jungle. They didn't have modern medicine. And so they depended on the power of prayer. You could call it the power of prayer. Mm-hmm. And to help another person to heal. So it's very similar to the power of prayer. But the prayer only works if you believe it. Right?
Gotta believe.
So you may say, oh, God, help me. You might say, oh, my gosh, I need da-da-da. Oh, please, please. But if you don't really believe it, your prayer doesn't get answered. It's your faith that heals you.
Wow.
That's a mouthful. And your faith heals you. So meaning get out of your way. Get out of your way. Because the eternal light is in you. You know, whether you call it the eternal light, the divine light, it is within you. Mm-hmm. So it's not about religion. It's about the essence of who we are. So it's just being able, I understand all of this, and I can just explain it very simple, you know, of how it works. And so I literally guide people to this by talking, by asking questions, and I take them through the real mastery results. And it works every time.
I'm sure, yes. I believe it does. I mean, but of course, like you said, you have to believe in order for
you have to believe.
Yes, yes. Now
you really do.
Yeah. Now we also spoke, and you mentioned that you were a psychic medium as well. Do you want to talk about that?
I can. I will tell people that I'm a medium, but I don't advertise it really. You know, sometimes I will in a bio, depends on who my audience is. But why it's important is just like when I talk to you about having a session with a client today, is that sometimes I'm talking to clients and I'm feeling like there is like somebody there. You know, there is somebody, and I'll say, well, who do you know that looks like this? Or, you know, I'll talk about an action about them, or what would they do, and they'll tell me. And what that means is that our loved ones are literally right beside us. We just don't see them, right? Mm-hmm. You know, we live, the soul is forever in my world, and my belief. So we're right there. And so I do believe, you know, it is of love, and there isn't the ego. It's all pure love. And usually when somebody passes, they want their loved one that they left behind to be happy. They want them to be happy, and whether they're involved with someone else, they give them their blessing. And if they don't know that, they are on a level. They absolutely are. So our loved ones, our grandparents, or people that we know have passed may be around us. And let me ask you this, Cindy, have you ever been driving and I don't know, are your grandparents still living?
No, they're not.
Right. But have you ever, or like some loved ones, like an aunt or someone, have you ever been driving somewhere or been doing something, and all of a sudden that person is so strong in your mind?
Yes.
And you don't know why? Well, that's because it's probably been a spiritual encounter that you're not aware of. Our loved ones come in and say hi to us all the time.
Wow.
So it brings people a lot of comfort. And so if I'm working with someone and they're having a session, they may ask me questions. I may say, okay, well, let's see if your loved one is here. Or we wait and just see, I just go about what we're doing in a session. And then if I get it, if I feel something, then I say it because it's important.
Amazing. That is amazing. Now, I know I don't want to run out of time. So before I get to my last question, please let the listeners know how they can reach you and experience all this great wonder that you can share with them.
Well, thank you very much. So there's a website called timewithjudy.com, and you can go there and book a 30-minute discovery session. And you can do that. And then you can also go to realresultsmap.com, and there's a free gift for you there where you can get a copy of my Real Master Results Map. And then you have an opportunity to take a quiz that we all like what's our mindset quiz around money and success. And you can book a session. So you do get all that if you would like.
Wow, that's great.
So these sessions are all remote?
Yes, of course.
Obviously.
Yes. I used to do sessions in person, but yes, these sessions are all through Zoom or Skype.
Right. Okay, we have like 1 minute left, but I must ask this question because we started getting into the medium and psychic medium and things like that. We also talked about the ancestral cleansing and how that can block you. And I was just amazed by that. So can you just touch on that real quick?
Yes. Okay. So we have to believe that, now scientists backs it up with DNA. They say we have markers. And then we start looking at our family history, and we start saying, well, this person has this disease or the possibility of this and this. And it goes on, it's ancestral. And addiction can go into many, many lines of ancestral relationships. Addiction could have started 5 generations ago, and you're having it right now. It's amazing. So in my work, in my own personal life and with clients, it's come up over and over again of ancestral, of somebody, of a relationship. And that pattern was repeated from another relationship. So you're talking to someone and you're saying, well, you're talking to your mom. And Mom, remember how Aunt Mary was? And she was such a stickler for da-da-da-da. And she just, had a temper. And then you're saying, yeah, and then you start tracing it back to, well, I remember her dad was like that. Or I remember that mom was like that, or that other person was like that. So part of it's learned behavior that gets passed, but it's part of it's in that part of the genetics in our DNA that scientists don't know what it is. It's part of our energy body. It's part of our soul. It's our spirit, and we're here living this human experience to grow in love.
Truly amazing.
Deepen love. And so, of course, we're going to encounter a lot of things that's not love.
Amazing. Truly amazing. Judy Jewett, thank you for being here. Listeners, Judy Jewett, you do want to get in touch with her. You want to be amazed by her and what she can offer you. Thanks so much for being here, Judy.
Thank you.
Thank you.